Hey, what's going on, good people? Welcome to Russ Can Fly, and I am flying, baby. I'm flying. Yeah. Okay, so before I get back into the cockpit, I want to give a subscriber shout out, and this one is a special one. My 200th subscriber. Shout out to Ethan McPherson. Ethan, thank you for subscribing to the channel. Ethan has his own channel. I think it's Ethaper, E-T-H-A-P-H-E-R. I think it's something like that, but I'm sorry. But Ethan, thank you for subscribing to the channel, man. I hope you're good. I really appreciate you supporting me on this journey. It really does mean a lot. All right, Ethan, it's time to hit the cockpit. Let's go. Now, there's a lot of things I leave out of my videos, just, editing for time so that, things don't drag along. And this is one of the things I always leave out. And for whatever reason, I decided to leave some of it in. So you see the ground person basically coming and putting gas in the airplane. And I've never had this in my video before, but I thought, yes, I always ask for them to fill the plane up. I don't care, if I look at it and it looks like there's like 13 or 14 gallons. I want full fuel when I get up in the air. I don't care what the gas gauges say. I want to know that those tanks are full. So that's what you see here.
Here's yours.
Beautiful.
Oh, damn, you got a scar on your arm.
Fraternity stuff, yeah.
Oh, yeah? What fraternity was that?
Phi Beta Sigma. That's back when I was in my younger crazy days.
They branded you.
Mm-hmm. 1/8 of an inch. Clamp her up.
Wingsfield, Cessna 717 Golf, taxiing from the upper ramp for runway 24 wings.
So unfortunately on this flight I had all kinds of camera issues. I mean, the last video the camera fell down because it wasn't mounted properly, but on this one, for whatever reason, the cameras were just behaving badly. They decided to cut off and all that kind of thing. But I got these really cool front shots, so that's why I decided to go ahead and post this video. And it's just all about me trying to learn how to land the airplane. So only one perspective, but still worth it. Okay, let's take this nice and easy.
Good.
So I can see. All right. Turn indicator, compass is moving freely. Vertical speed is level, ball's opposite. Turn coordinator is, now I don't know what to say there.
Turn coordinator, so all I say is heading indicator, man, and compass are moving freely in the right direction. Turn coordinator is moving in the right direction, ball's opposite.
Okay. So I saw everything, just making the right
and
call.
Also that you want to take the ball on this one right here.
Oh, okay, yep. Let's see, this thing doesn't exist for me yet.
Yeah.
It will.
Yeah.
I'll get there.
It's nice, man. I have an IFR student in this plane now, and this thing actually does a lot. Like it can do a lot. It's pretty good for the smallness of the screens.
I definitely like the fact that everything is like right there. You know what I mean?
Can I just the brakes one more time?
Okay. Your controls.
My controls. Alright, we're good. You're
okay, my controls. Yeah, I was figuring the only reason why I was making that noise is because my car does that too.
Yeah, it's the water.
Yeah, the brakes were making this squeaky sound, and if you don't notice, there's like a lot of water. It had rained pretty hard just before, so the brakes were sounding weird.
Gonna have to adjust this.
No, so that's fine. We're just it's always gonna be a little.
Oh, it's gonna be a little high.
Yeah, because we are like kind of It is kind of high there. Once you in the air, you'll see it.
Okay.
Normal. Because yeah, you can't adjust that. It's
Okay. Because this looks good, but that just looked high to me.
So this is the way the shot is going to look like for most of this flight. You're basically going to see this forward-facing camera. And basically I'm just trying to share with you what I see when I'm trying to land the plane. Unfortunately, I don't have any other perspectives because pretty much after I take off, the other two cameras die.
Yeah, I guess. Corner as much as possible.
Other thing I decided to keep in this video as well is something called the run-up. This is when you do a complete check of all of your instruments before you take off. And so I thought for the first time I would show what a run-up looks like.
Bend it out. Probably need to
Straighten it out a little bit more.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. Doors and windows locked. Fuel quantity, we know it's good because we just had it. Fuel selectors on both. Mixture, let's go back to rich. Throttle up to 1700. On the brakes. 17. Alright, magnetos. To the right. Good drop, back to both. And to the left. Good drop, back to both. Carburetor heat. Looking for a slight drop. Light drop, it's good. Suction gauge. Right in the middle there.
Yeah, you want that 4.8 to 5.2.
Okay, gotcha. Engine instruments.
Oil temp, oil pressure.
Oil temp, oil pressure's good. Oil temp is coming up. Alternator check. So drop in the amps. Back up. Annunciator panel, this doesn't have one, does it? And throttle to idle. And back to 1000. That's the one thing I picked up last time.
Yeah.
Because if you catch that idle and the engine cuts off.
Yeah.
Alright. I'm not going to worry about the mixture.
You're fine.
Throttle friction lock. That feels good. Alright, gonna go ahead and line up.
Yep. And then also you see there it says flight instruments check, right? You want to make sure these are zero airspeed. Like zero airspeed. These are good. Altimeter is 300 within 75. These two are good. Front coordinator is level and balls in the middle.
Okay.
And vertical speed is 0.
Alright, very good. And if you had to adjust that, like...
I don't think you can.
Okay.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah,
it's already is calibrated.
Okay.
But, you can put runway heading here. And then going 1500.
Gotcha.
So that's a run-up, and you see you're checking all your engine instruments, you're checking your oil temperature, oil pressure, suction, which is very important because it powers a lot of your avionics, and just want to make sure everything is in working order before you power down that runway.
Alright. Don't see anybody coming in on final. And nobody on the field. Make my call. Wing field, Cessna 717 Golf, taking runway 24, staying in the pattern, wings.
Now on that call you heard me say that we were staying in the pattern. What that means is we're basically staying in the recognized pattern around the airport. There is a rectangular pattern around the airport and the runway that is recognized by all pilots, and so if you're staying in that area, you're staying at a specific altitude and you're staying within the pattern, so you want to let other pilots know that that's what you're doing.
Alright, heels to the floor, full power.
Just enough right rudder, right? As you get faster, you need a little bit more and more. Good. Oil temp, oil pressure is good. Airspeed's a lot. Nice smooth at 55. You have a wind coming in from your right a little bit, so a little bit of, from your left, a little bit of left aileron. Be climbing up at 75.
Normal traffic, Skyhawk 582 Lima, pop up 5 miles to the northeast,
weird, right?
inbound landing VOR Alpha, Millville.
Okay, so at this point, this is the only camera angle I have at this point. The other 2 cameras decided that they were going kaput, so, but you'll still be able to get the gist of my landing struggles.
Definitely got some air.
That's for sure. You pitch up a tiny bit more, climb out about 75 is fine, 75 knots.
Gotcha.
Get there at 75. Yeah, it's probably really bumpy up there.
The thing I really like about this camera angle, I've been watching this video a lot because this will help me know where I'm supposed to make my turns. So this first turn to the left is basically a crosswind turn. So I'll be able to look out the window and see, you know, the landmarks where I should make that first turn.
Is that a B?
Nah, looks like a fly.
Okay.
Oh, we're at 1200.
Good.
I'm going to keep this first pattern in so you can see how it works. So fly runway heading, then you turn to the left, crosswind, then you make another left, downwind, parallel to the runway, then base, then final. Those are your legs for your pattern.
And yeah, so you want to make sure you have a nice rectangular pattern here. So use this line too. I put this line there to help you get nice and perpendicular.
Okay.
Now you can turn downwind.
Wings field, Cessna 717 Golf, turning downfield, downwind for runway 24 wings. Okay, I see it.
And then like when you get on the crosswind here, when you get on the crosswind back there, just get your wings level a bit because it's hard to see the runway with the high wing, right?
Right.
So just get your wings level and then try and visualize it that you're coming in.
Gotcha.
So now you feel yourself being pushed right here?
Yeah.
So a little bit of crab into the wind there to maintain the parallel on the downwind. Power back.
Skyhawk is 3 northeast VOR Alpha inbound for low approach. Novo.
I say a little bit more to the right here.
Okay.
You see this diamond here? The dash line? That's your ground track.
Okay.
So keep that parallel, but you kind of got a bit close to the runway here.
Gotcha.
I'll take a bit more power out.
So on this downwind leg, we're basically flying parallel to the airport because we're gonna make 2 more left turns to line ourselves up to land. Coming up soon.
Carb heat on.
Carb heat on.
Power to 1500.
Power to 1500.
10 degrees of flaps.
First notch of flaps.
Let that nose come down, but still maintain this crab, okay? Because you're still on the downwind, and especially you're getting slower, it's going to want to push you even more of the wind. And you're looking for 45. Pitches soon, right about now.
Wings field, Cessna 717 Golf, turning base for runway 24 wings.
Let that nose come down too much, but don't stop the descent.
Okay, gotcha.
You gotta find that nice middle ground.
Skyhawk is 2 miles to the northeast VOR Alpha inbound low approach. Novo.
Yeah, add some power. Let that nose come down, right? You see now we're level here.
Yeah.
It's like one extreme to the other.
Gotcha.
And now 20 degrees of flaps.
Second notch of flaps.
And then when you're ready, you can start turning final. There's a wind pushing you, so you can start turning a little earlier.
Okay. Wings field, 717 Golf, turning final for runway 24 wings.
Good. There's a good altitude. Now put that nose right on the 2-4.
Okay.
Speed's good.
That's...
We're 70 knots. As soon as you put the 30 degrees, it'll slow down, so you might need to add some power. Add some power. Add 30 degrees of flaps.
30 degrees.
I wouldn't go 40, yeah.
Okay.
And trying to aim it. So you see we have a crab going in right now?
Yep.
So you want to transition that crab to that wing low slide slip. So add some power. want to put the wing, aileron into the wind, opposite rudder.
Okay.
Alright, you see this?
Yeah.
And aim right the 2-4, take a bit of power out. Not too much, just enough. And then over the runway, we're going to go power idle. Over runway, power idle.
Idle.
Good. Good.
Oh,
a little balloon. You kind of.
Yeah.
Like,
Traffic not available.
you let that.
Yeah.
You saw that ground.
I
coming?
saw that ground. I do that every time.
You were perfect. You got it in there nicely. I mean, if you had to pull back, yes, but a little too much there.
Okay.
But you transitioned yourself really well, and we were aligned and everything like that. So you had the rudder in, right? Did you have the opposite rudder? You had the ailerons. Not bad. Not bad.
Yeah,
at all.
I chickened out a little bit at the end there.
So my struggle here is as I'm coming into land and I see the runway coming up to the plane, and it seems like it comes pretty daggone fast. Woo-wee! I panic. I mean, it just seems like, the runway is coming up and like we're gonna just crash into the runway. And so I basically just muscle the yoke and we do this thing called a balloon, which means we're coming in for a landing. We're just about to touch the runway, and basically we balloon back up into the sky, almost like we're about to take off again. And that's pretty dangerous because, you're flying with, your flaps extended, the plane could stall, a wing could drop. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that can happen. So, but I just have to get better at anticipating the different winds, being real nuanced or precise in my control inputs rather than being so, strong on them or, really reacting too strongly. All right, so let's go to the next landing.
Cessna 717 Golf, turning final for runway 24 wing.
And if you look straight ahead, you can see the airport coming up, and it's definitely something that I'm getting better at recognizing, actually seeing the runway and looking for the number.
And I'll put your flaps in.
Okay. High? That's okay.
It's still, I wouldn't say we're too high. This is a good sight picture so far.
Okay.
Is good.
That looks good.
Yeah, but your descent rate is coming a bit too fast there, so it adds some power. Look at your speed, right?
Traffic not available.
And an aileron into the wind, right? Opposite rudder. Good. Too much now, just as needed.
Okay.
Go power idle. Wings level. And now start flaring. I got it.
Okay, you're controlled.
Good job, though.
Thank you.
That was a good landing.
Got a little better. I mean, it was still kind of floating on me.
Yeah, no, but that was good, though. The touchdown, you controlled it well.
So I'm working on it. It's a whole lot to think about. It's, the sight picture, the rudder input, the aileron input, the speed, the pitch, the power. And as you can see, we're coming in like sideways and all kinds of stuff like that because of the way the wind was blowing. And there was a pretty good crosswind, which means there was a nice wind blowing across the runway. So there was just a lot going on. But, landings are like, I don't know, just think of the most difficult thing you can do in any vocation. I think landing is it for flying. I mean, of course, there's some other things that, are challenging or difficult, but landings, for me right now, it's like, the final frontier or something. Yeah, Star Trek reference, what can I say? Anyway, so that's pretty much it for the flying, but I'm struggling to land, but I am going to keep after it. Whew. Okay, so that was one heck of a flight. But one of the things I'm learning about landing is the way you fly the pattern is extremely important. What you do on the downwind leg, turning into the base leg, and then finally into the final has tremendous impact on what kind of and what quality of landing you're gonna do. Because it's all about airspeed and glide slope and all of those types of things. Having said that, one of the things that I'm learning is even if I fly the perfect pattern, my downwind leg, perfect altitude, perfect airspeed, I think it's got to be 75 or 85 or something like that. That's the one thing I got to get perfect on. And then base, 75, and then final, looking for that 70, you know, over the fence, 65 to 60. Even if I do all of that, once I start getting closer to the runway and this thing called ground effect takes place. Now, it's kind of hard for me to explain exactly what ground effect is all about, but what ends up happening is when you have ground effect, it's almost kind of like the plane has the tendency to want to lift a little bit more, because you don't have like the same kind of like, you know, upper wind forces and all that kind of stuff. So it's a whole big Bernoulli principle probably type of stuff. I don't know. All I know is the daggone airplane wants to go back up in the air. And so one of the things you have to do in order to account for this ground effect is you have to do something called a flare or transition, so that as you're coming down, you're beginning to level off and you anticipate that ground effect so that the plane stalls in a controlled way. My problem is when I come down there and that ground effect hits, all I see is the runway coming up towards me, and I grab that yoke and I yank that bad boy because I don't want to crash into the daggone runway. And so what ends up happening is then we balloon and we really raise back up, and that is really, really dangerous because, like I said, you can find yourself in a situation where you're coming in for a landing, you're low power, you have a lot of flaps, and you balloon back up, but you don't have enough speed, and so not a lot of like throttle in, you know, engine input, and a wing dips, and that wing catches on the ground and sucks to be you. So that's why controlling all of that stuff is very important. So on the next flight, really what I want to concentrate on is making my control inputs more subtle, not manhandling the airplane, not getting all crazy and scared. Easier said than done, but that's the goal. So at any rate, enough. So thank you for watching this video. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you have not subscribed to the channel. I definitely appreciate the support. And that's it. Russ Kid, I'm out. Peace. Till next time.